two Alabama State guys, but about 8 years apart. I'm wondering if your paths crossed previously.
Actually, so Coach Wood when I was playing, he was coaching at Huntington College as the D-line coach. So he would come over and watch us practice, and I'd be like, man, who is this guy that's always over here? And so I've been knowing him since I was a player. And then once I finished playing, I got into this profession. He's just been a mentor to me ever since I got in this profession. So honestly, I wouldn't be who I am today without him.
I'm wondering, obviously there was a late change with the coaching staff and an opportunity presented itself. How did that unfold, and did you have anything to do with getting him here?
I mean, honestly, Coach Silverfield, he wanted to find the best fit for us. And so, his name, actually, me and Coach Silverfield was on the same wavelength because he came by my office. He was like, you ever heard of Landius Wilkerson? I said, yes, sir. He was like, I didn't give him the background because I was like, hey, man, I heard he's a really good coach and, he's a heck of a recruiter and everything. I'm like, yes, sir, he is. And he's been and the same thing I just told you, he's been a mentor to me. I've been knowing him a long time. So we kind of met in the middle, and I was like, shoot, Coach, let's bring him up. And he was the first guy we brought up, and shoot, man, that was it, man.
Just how things unfolded from your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, he said it, man. When Coach reached out to me, asked me was I interested, and mentioned had a set up here, and obviously I knew Coach Cotton, and I was like, heck yeah, that's my boy. I'm used and knew him for a while, and came over and met everybody else, and it seemed like an easy, smooth transition.
Coach, I want to ask you, how does the mesh work between the two of you guys? One of y'all got tackles, one ends. How does that go?
Well, most time I have ends, he gets tackles, but we really doing the whole room together. We're just, for example, we could change every day, by drills, by periods. It's just we got the same background as far as fundamentally defensive line technique, so it's real easy. We speak the same language, and then we meet every day and go through it and just, hey man, what you want to do today? We kind of a two-headed monster, but technically when we meet, I've been taking the edges and he's been taking the inside guys.
You didn't want to jeopardize his chances? I mean, when it came up, you didn't want to?
Oh, listen, all we want to do is win. And so when we had the opportunity to add a guy with experience that played in the playoffs last year, and Coach Silverfield, he liked to make a joke. He was like, man, I'm tired of him beating us on recruits, when he was at Memphis and stuff. So, we get the chance to bring him in, and then while we in the room together, shoot, two brains are better than one. So we're attacking this thing all together.
All right, well, I want to hone in on the tackles a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Can you talk about those guys and just what you've seen from spring so far?
Yes, sir. So Hunter Osborne, he's been doing things at a high level. He controls the front. He can line us up. He does everything the right way. And then Oki has been really playing consistent football for us. If we continue to get him playing consistent football, I think this guy right here will have a really good season. And then the next guy inside I would like to talk about is Carlon Jones. Carlon Jones, he has been playing nose tackle for us. You can move him around. Very smart player, very cerebral player, and he's been also doing an outstanding job for us. Also inside, man, Danny Beal, freshman. This guy right here is a brick house now. So we are excited about him. Got to get him to play more consistently. When we start throwing a lot of stuff out there, it's spinning for him a little bit. But if we talking about base down, early downs, this guy can do it. He can do it for us. So Anthony Kennedy, another young freshman, got a lot of potential. Right now, focusing on him just really coming out his hips and striking blockers. That's the biggest thing for him right now. And then also inside, we have Danny, T.O., Trajan Odom. That's good. You talking about twitch, you talking about high IQ. Trajan now, he can go. This guy now, I just truly believe that if he can I told him, if you can slow down the speed up, man, I'm just telling you, it's going to be a game changer for you. And inside for us, that's pretty much everybody.
Coach, Quincy's guy who's already had credentials when you guys got here. Can you talk about maybe what he's meant to the team and maybe leadership in that position?
Yeah, like you said, Quincy's already got a name for himself, done a good job to get to this point where he is, and everything he's got, he's deserved. And he's came in, he's been eager to learn. You know, I think a lot of stuff we're doing now is different fundamentally and technique-wise and even scheme-wise. And he's a guy that has came in and met with us a lot one-on-one, just trying to grasp everything. And he's eager to win and don't mind working. And his biggest leadership thing is he'll work. You know, he's a worker. He comes in, he'll work hard, and he practices hard, runs to the football. So I've been pleased with Quincy. You know, like I tell him every day, I challenge him every day to be better than he was the day before. He just got to continue to grow on and off the field, and I think he'll be fine and have a good season. And like I tell him all the time, the harder he works, the better he leads, the better those guys around him are going to be.
So behind Quincy, who are some of the edges maybe that have stuck out to you? How important is it to build that depth behind Quincy? You can't just rely on one guy there.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in depth and rotation. That's why I told Quincy when I first got here, it was, last year we got to the playoffs because we played 3 deep on the D-line. I'm a firm believer in that, and he realizes that. But behind him, we got 88 Sims, Day. He's been really, really good. You know, he's been one of our better D-linemen, in my opinion, against the run a lot, the point of attack so far. And it's new to him as well, but he's working hard, he's learning, he's training, he's fighting, and then behind him you got a young guy in Caleb Bell who every day seems to be getting better and better. It's moving fast for him because he's still young, but those 3 guys have been the most solid ones in the group to this point. And then the other guy there is the freshman, Colton Yarbrough. He's new, and he's typical freshman, man, the growing pains. He's got to learn everything about college is new for him. You know, and some days are better than others with those guys between him, Big Ant and Danny. They're all freshmen, and they flash at moments, and they have freshman moments too.
How do you pronounce Sims' first name? I mean, do you guys call him Zayday? How did you?
I call him Day.
Day? Okay. Yeah, we'll stick with that then. I'm curious about the jack position, because that's obviously one that rushes the passer. It's got other responsibilities, but we've seen them not really working with you guys at all when we've been there. I mean, how much are you involved with them maybe when they do have to line up on the line and either rush the passer or stop the run, or is that just completely different and not something you guys are working with?
It's fairly different. I get to work with them some because I'll take the ends with the jack some periods. Because a lot of stuff is the same as in our defense, and if we have a technique that we're doing that's the same, we'll get together and do drills. So I've seen them probably 1 period a day, maybe, for 5 minutes. Other than that, they're off in la-la land is what I call it.
Coach Cotton, you mentioned Hunter right off the top, and that's someone that Coach Silverfield really elaborated on when we talked to him on Saturday. You mentioned his size and what he, just kind of taking up mass. I mean, what else? So what are the other qualities that's maybe impressed from what you've seen, and how has he surprised you since getting onto campus?
Yeah. The thing about Hunter is he's cerebral. He's smart. I mean, I get guys, if you bring Hunter in here and put him on the board, he can probably line up the whole defense, and he can line us up. He can tell you what each guy is doing on defense. And so I think that's huge, because with a young guy like Danny, when I throw him in there with Hunter, I mean, Hunter takes charge of the front, and he teaches, hey, man, look, boom, 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 get them lined up, and he gets them going. And so, and also his leadership. I think that's huge for him, and he's taking more strides. I think he's more comfortable now that he's been here and played and done a couple of practices, because now he's getting on guys. He's showing that other side to him, and it's like we need that in that room, because we are a fairly young room. And so with him being one of the veteran guys and him now showing that he can really take charge and be that leader, and it's been big for us. So.
You mentioned Danny Beal earlier, but for both of you guys, the freshmen you have on campus right now really look the part. I mean, they stand out. They don't look like freshmen, like coaches like to say. But what have you seen from that group? Danny, but also the other freshmen that you have so far.
Man, I would say Danny, man, the thing that's impressed me about him more often than not is his eagerness and willingness to come in and work. Like, he'll come in and sit in a meeting by himself, one-on-one with the coaches. He wants to learn, hey, what can I get better at? And the biggest thing I tell him is Danny's hard on himself, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, Danny will make a mistake and he's mad. Yeah. Danny will go in and play with the ones and make a tackle, but then I'll go, hey, good job, man. Coach, I messed up the play before. So he's trying to be a perfectionist, and for a young guy, because the kid's still 17 years old, he's in here every day trying to learn the playbook and master his craft. So he's been the biggest bright side to me, because he's been in my office the most, working the hardest individually, trying to be ready to play this season.
there anything you would add, Coach Cotton?
Yeah, and then with Anthony Kennedy and Colton Yarborough, I mean, those two guys, they also come in and get extra work and film time. Colton, he was trying to watch the scrimmage after the scrimmage. Like, brother, it's not even in the system yet. So these guys really are trying to, they're freshmen. They're trying to impress us, trying to figure out life, trying to do a lot of things right now. And with those guys, I can tell you that Colton, he's been consistent. You talking about showing up on time, doing all things the right way. That's what we're excited about. The football, again, like Coach said, he's young, so that's going to come. And then Anthony Kennedy, we call him Ant. I mean, he's got all the tools. Just for him now is to be consistent. Be consistent, man. Trust in the process. It's going to come because he's always been the best player everywhere he's been. So it's now he's around other guys that's just as good as him. So it's just now just breathe, relax, and then just trust the process. Just keep playing.
It sounded like the defense kind of won the day in the scrimmage the other day. For two defensive guys, what did you guys take away from the scrimmage from that whole unit?
The guys played hard. And our biggest thing now was, man, strain. Before we went out, it was strain and strike. Like, hey, strain, run to the football, get to the football, and then strike, knock people back. But for us, it's not good enough because, we just got done watching the tape as a defense, and we got a lot of stuff we got to clean up. Yeah, we do some good things? We did, but that's not the standard. We striving for greatness, so we just got to clean up a lot of things.
Yeah, the positive for me coming out of that question was I challenged those guys to finish, put a focus on finishing. And I dated back to previous practices and even in the season, like, hey, guys, we lost a lot of close games. It starts up front. Like, if this group will lead and we'll work to finish, this team will follow. And I was excited when I got to the field pre-practice Saturday. It was the first group out there was the D-line. And for me, that was a growth in that room. Like, all right, they're out here early, they're locked in and loaded. And then the offense had a lot of success. And they got to the red zone, they got to the goal line, but guys made plays. And that to me, that kind of showed that they bought into the, all right, you know what? So what now what mentality? They moved the ball on us. Good, keep them out of the end zone. Mm-hmm. For the most part, we did that. And like you said, it wasn't perfect, but we saw a lot of bright things on our side of the football that we can build off of.
And then to piggyback off of that, if you go back to Thursday practice, we had 17 periods where we played really good up front. And then the last 6 periods, we got tired. And then the offense moved the ball on us. And so after practice, coach, he lit them a new one now. And so when he say, hey, the focus finished, that was it. And the guys, they did that.
From a terminology standpoint, you guys call one spot the end or the edge, and then is he generally on the opposite side of the jack, or does it matter?
Yeah, when we talk about end right now, Quincy's playing the end. It is the opposite side of the jack. Yeah. And
for that spot, you're looking for a guy that may be a little quicker, a little lighter, or is it
quicker.
Just about getting your best three?
Hey, man, if we can get one bigger and quicker, we'll take him.
You call the guys that's head up, you call them the nose guard or nose tackle? Which
yes,
one?
Sir.
Which one?
Nose, yes, sir.
Just nose general?
Yeah, yes, sir. Just the nose.
And then the defensive tackle on the other spot. Any real difference between the top player you're looking there in terms of skill set?
No, they're all the same body type. Honestly, we would like them to be, like you said, you love to find one bigger, faster, stronger, great. But at the end of the day, no, they're all that type of body type inside. Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask you about Jaheim Johnson. I know you didn't coach him, but you were with him at Tulane. What kind of player was he for you guys over there?
Awesome, man. I call him Joker, man. That's my guy. Hard worker. When I got here, the guys asked me about him, and he was a kid that was always in the building. That's one thing about him. I watched that kid. Our first year there, didn't play a whole lot, but we had 3 NFL DBs in that room, corners. 2 were drafted, and then 1 played in every game last year for the Colts. And everybody wondered why he didn't play. So we had 3 NFL corners. He played every game last year as a starter, but that was a kid that he would come in and just work. He'd lead by his work ethic, man. And that's why I knew he was going to be successful when he got here. I told him, I said, guys, I don't know how he's going to compare to everybody talent-wise, but there's going to be nobody to work harder than him or be in the film room more often than him.